Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for your patience. I'm Nour Toubia. I'm heading the interior design department at Inner Space Design. And I'm going to ask a few of you, how do you feel today? Happy. Okay. Sir, how do you feel today? Amazing. Great. So I think that question is a question that we get every single day, if not once, multiple times every time we encounter people. But do we really think about how we feel physically, mentally, and emotionally when we answer that question? And how do we feel after everything we've been through also this past year due to the pandemic? How do you feel in the spaces that we create or that we design, right? So I'm touching base on what is the importance actually of the environment and the wellness, and how actually our spaces affect our well-being daily, whether it is mentally, emotionally, or physically. So where is the sunshine, right? This is a picture that actually I'm sure a lot of you recognize. It's our maybe dailies, most of us, unfortunately or fortunately. But once we look at that, and as a fact, most of you might have already heard that, 90% of our time is spent actually indoors and not outdoors. However, we also know, as part of a lot of research, that the environment and the outdoor has immense positive impact on our well-being. Great. So, are you well? You said you were amazing, you said you were happy, which is great. But what is well? So there is a concept called the well concept, which was established in 2014. Today there is different version that got launched on the market. This is the second version, which is now the complement of 10 concepts. Initially it was 7, and these 10 concepts are actually helping designers and architects to design spaces that are not only healthy in terms of space, but also in terms of building performance. So how can you make your building and your space well enough so your end user are feeling amazing and happy? So there are 10 concepts, which hopefully you have just cross-read quickly, and that is our role and responsibilities as designer and architect today to actually design and build these spaces for our clients and the end users. How well are employees? Sorry. How well are employees? So once we asked that question, after a year and a half that we have been working a bit from home, a bit from the office, at some point we were completely, all of us, redirected to our rooms, living rooms, saloons, and trying to hide, being with, let's say, your family, you needed a space, you were in a meeting, etc. And you were actually feeling in a space that is in isolation, right? You were not anymore collaborating. You were just through Zoom, you were just through Teams, or these platforms that were created to support our business, right? And I'm not sure we knew how much actually the spaces where we were locked, which were our homes, were actually ready to cater our businesses, right? We were working from different places. An important question is, how can we create these spaces that are well enough? And the second question is, how can we adapt to an environment that is in constant change? We don't know what tomorrow is about. We don't know what protocols, for example, this pandemic is going to create in our, even the close future. I'm not talking in a year or two. Today, we're with mask, as sometimes we discuss, some weeks we're with double mask, some weeks we are with N95. So we are really, every day we have new challenges, and that has an immense impact actually on our well-being, whether it is physical or mental or emotional. So I'll take you through, as a designer, how we think and how we create or inspire to design and build some of these spaces. So there is the first, I think, very important concept, which is the human centric design. So actually creating an environment that revolves around our end user, our customer, and our clients, but also keeping in mind who is their client if it's not their own space, right? So people come first, customer come first, but also engaging them in our process. Like Shika showed, we have engaged our, for example, client at ARN to sit with us to discuss what are their needs, what are their challenges, what do they want as solutions. So I think this is a very important way of design thinking and process once you are starting to develop your own concepts and spaces. I'll show you one quick project that we have done. This is Stanton and Parton Aviation office, and this office is actually fully human-centered design. In the way that actually the journey and experience we have created for our customer was revolving around the experience you get as soon as you step in their offices, which is a full aviation experience. So for example, that image behind this jet that you see, which we have built also, which is a great achievement, is a meeting room, right? Which is not the conventional meeting room, it's more as really the real experience that we're trying to engage. So in that, I'll show you the interior, right, of that space. So as soon as you open the door of the jet, you get invited to that beautiful space, which also has really focused on the details, on the finishes, on what goes where, and to support, right, that experience and journey. That's another view, just also to show you how that was designed. Great. And from there, I'm going to run through a few spaces that we have designed and built. And I think when we're talking about human-centered, we're talking about human connection. And today, as human, this is something we really we really need in our life and in our dailies. So we create spaces that are inviting, right, people and communities, right, to come together to discuss. This is one of the projects, which is called the Happiness Lounge at Diwa. So you see there is different spaces. The next one is a project we have also completed at Deloitte offices. This is their breakout, but also you have some pockets which are for close meeting, so as breakouts and collaboration spaces. The next one is a recent project we have completed in Ajman for Ajman Bank. This is also a very fun and inviting space where at the left side you can have a quick meeting. Also, you can have a coffee. So it's not anymore your conventional pantry, but it's really inviting and creating that type of culture to bring again people together. Another one, which is Diwa Ruwaya. So I'm just taking you through quick project. And one more is the Future Learning Lab, which was a project created also to bring communities, which in that case, the community was aged 9 to 16 years old, around a new type of education, which is based on the STEM, which is science and technology. And that is also, after COVID, it's a different way of bringing people or kids to the educational system by engaging them, right? And so there is a lab, there is a pantry, friendly as quick living, there is the 3D printer, so you're really engaging these children and parents to be part of a great experience and journey. And on the floor, as you see, this was the path to each spot. So it was really as a fun experience created. Happiness is a choice. I'm sure everyone says that to their self or to anyone around you. I definitely believe in that happiness is not only a choice, but as designers and architects, we have this responsibility to create spaces that will bring happiness to you. So how can we actually do that? Through sustainability. So how can we use the sustainability concept which is not only by adding few plants here and there, right? So as I was saying, it's the well concept. So it's 10 different concepts that today were written because they were researched and because they are proof to guide us to create that. So picking the right material, being conscious of our environment first, and second of our buildings. So how can we actually keep that in mind to improve the building performance? One of them is the biophilia. So the relation of people and spaces that you get from biophilia and the connection from nature is something that is really important. It has been proven, as you can see in that quick diagram, that it reduces anxiety, it reduces stress, it's also improving your cognitive performance. So it has so many impact on your wellness, on your physical, on your mental, and on your emotional. So what I was saying is that through sustainability you create healthy spaces, right? And that image is a project we have done for Rye offices, which on the left side you have a lift, but also we're trying to connect through movement. When we have created that interesting stairs with biophilia, we have tried to actually engage the user to step into his maybe not comfort zone of taking, which is an easy way, right? You'll get the lift, you'll reach your office. On the contrary, we have created also a stairs inside the office to engage and to promote the movement. So today is not only about acoustics and lighting, it's also about promoting healthy nutrition, it's also promoting movement and all of these factors. That's a proposal we're doing for our own refurbishment for our offices post-COVID, so this is still a proposal, but that's also to show that once we add a piece, a statement piece, in that case it was a feature lighting, right? It embellishes the space, it brings you a feel of also coziness, to the space, so you feel more connected. Your brands and values are around you. You have a touch of biophilia, and as soon as you step, so this is our main entrance at the office. As soon as you enter, it's really a collaboration space more than a desk only base, right? It's more as a hot desking today. So that's another co-working space we have designed. And it was, the main concept was to bring the outdoor indoor, right? We wanted to create a garden. So it was a walk in a park or in a garden. And even the names of each room, as you can see, that was the garden pod. It was a pod, not your usual pod where you could sit there and, for example, have a one-to-one. It was more as a sensory pod where you could even listen to music or, take one step forward to that relaxing or focused time you require. The printer zone, for example, was just Save the Planet. That was the name, so we really engaged even into that level. Few other projects that shows that when you use the right materials, when you have for example, the carpet that will have third-party certification, that are green guard, that has VOC emissions. So when you have the right material used in your space, you don't need too much always. So it can really be minimalistic. The acoustic is taken care of, as you can see in the Dua Institute. Also in Amundi, that is one of the meeting rooms. The proper material helped us. The acoustic was there. You can see the natural lighting. So all of that was taken care. It's already, let's say, a step forward towards sustainability. Rye offices, which I just showed, that's the close-up shot, and that's Dua Institute in their actually pantry. We even brought again the outdoor-indoor by adding a touch of color. So color psychology has also a lot of impact in our life. Great. That's a very interesting project also, which is called Biophilia. It's a playground and cafe for kids age 0 to 12. I'm showing that image just to show how also designers have the capacity to actually take the challenges that we face on a daily basis and turn them into opportunity to create biophilia, right? Nature is not perfect and free. It has always some trees or some big elements here and there. So we had a big constraint, which was these massive columns. The other big challenge we had is that we had no access on natural lighting. So how we treated that is that we wanted, as you can see in the second image, we wanted that as soon as you enter the space, we create that sense of nature that was brought to life. So hand in hand with our customer that we have engaged, we have created a tree that we have made also locally, which we are also very proud of that, which consists, so you're looking at a tree that is more than 7 meters, and the diameter is 5 meters. So it was a really interesting shape to design, more interesting to fix and build. And at the same time, from there, we have added some leaves to help the acoustic because we were at a very high ceiling level. And the most prominent thing is that piece in the space. We didn't want to put too much. We really wanted to focus on our challenges that became really the heart and the soul. So that tree is called the Tree of Life, which today is called the Tree of Biophilia, after the name of the place. And as you can see, we have added some bird lights. So we have even accessorized it in a way. The clouds where some origami are hanged. We have done that. I'll just show you a quick video. So that's the space built. So that wasn't the final, so it was still in progress, but that's our progress. And I'll leave you under this tree, and thank you very much for your time.